show us the edge. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Trying to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show 'em you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the outlaws. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Give them credit. They dominated the game, and it was really a lackluster performance on our part. And it starts with me. I got to hold our guys more accountable. This is a tough back-to-back. We know it. Flying up here, they had a back-to-back as well. Probably some tired legs, but our fight has to be better. Those guys in the locker room, they know it. They've shown it. And tonight, we didn't put our best foot forward.
How much is changeable before Boston on Monday?
Everything is correctable and changeable. We just got to continue to work harder and do it harder and trust each other and compete. And tonight, just not consistent enough for us to give ourselves a chance to win the game, and that's the key for us.
Both teams were shooting really, really well in the first half. They really kept it going in the third quarter, cooled off a little bit. Just what changed there in the second half?
I have to go back and look, but just from my view is, like I said, they didn't really feel us. They came down, they ran their plays, they got into the paint, they kicked out for threes, and our defense was scrambling all night. Like I said, give them credit. They dominated the game. We know we have to be better. Our guys know it in the locker room, and, we got a day off coming up, and we'll look forward to getting out and playing against Boston.
Did you want to take more three-point attempts, or is that what the defense gave you and it was a smart decision? How do you view that?
Yeah, we do. We want to take more than 23. And you look at the stats, the difference in the game is 23s to 9. And that's a tough night. Anytime a team makes 23s and we only make 9, it's tough to catch up. So that's an area that we've improved, but we just didn't do it tonight. Okay, thank you.
All things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post Game Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all for being in the live. Pelicans, man, demolished by the Bucks 141-117. We're going to recap this thing. The Pelicans lose 2 straight. 2 really good teams in the NBA. The Pelicans not looking too good against that top-notch talent right now. Big ups to the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We in this thing. I'm Big Q. We got DC, Lexxah pop in momentarily. Shout out to the flock, man. This was a tough one. DC, man, this was a tough one, man. Let me kind of delve in a little stat pattern real quick. There we go. I don't know what the hell that was. All right, so anyway, man, listen. 20 3-pointers by the Bucks. You heard Coach Willie allude to it, DC, tonight on it. 20 3-pointers. They were pretty good. The Bucks shot 51 of 91 from downtown for 56%, and they hit 20 of 45 3-pointers for 44.4% tonight against the Pelicans. Plus, they only had 9 turnovers. They took really good care of the basketball tonight. Pelicans were 9 of 23 from downtown for 39% shooting. They did get to the foul line a little bit more than the Bucks did, but in the end, the 3-point barrage and other things were just too much for the Pelicans to overcome in the matchup, and they go down, burn down in this 141 to 117. Let's hear your thoughts, bro.
Ain't really a lot to think about, man. I mean, this is a repeat of last night. We scored more points, but same thing. You come out, you have a lot of energy and effort. Maybe first 5-6 minutes of the game, you kind of hanging there in that first quarter, and then we start trading twos for threes, or we can't find a bucket on open shots. My defense starts to break down after that. Coming out of halftime, we don't make any adjustments from that. They already countering what we were doing that was successful the first quarter, and then it just turns into like a 30-point loss. The one observation I didn't understand, I didn't know when Zion set out for one game, that mean we was just going to stop doing point Zion. I was a little confused by that. I thought we were going to get him going and, to begin the game, and the ball was going to be in his hands, a lot more and all of this. I ain't see a whole lot of that tonight, but I do understand that Boston is probably, it's probably the toughest matchup for him with Giannis and Brook Lopez. It looks a little easier now without Drew Holiday too. That really caused a lot of havoc for him last year. So I don't know if that's why they were kind of shying away from that a little bit. I really didn't get it. But Trey not playing definitely killed us, and him being in a slump, man. He's kind of like the piece that has us be able to hang with, a Milwaukee Bucks or a team like this. Games when we beat these guys, we usually get some type of contribution in a major way from the bench, and we didn't get anything from those guys. It's just an off night, man. But energy and effort wasn't there, and we tapped out early. Just another one of them blowout wins. We can't seem to win games in clutch times when we do get there, which was probably only about maybe 7 games or so. And the other losses we have, they come like this. The Pels, they lose 2 ways. It's always the same story with that. And then we got to go in and face Boston, who they got their ass handed to them against the Clippers tonight. They were down by 30, so they're gonna be ready for us, and hopefully we're ready for them.
Yeah, this is a tough 3-game stretch, to be honest with you, man. Pelicans usually have better outings and blowout losses, but it was just more of the same, man, like you alluded to. But individuals, just a few stats. BI finished with 26 points and 6 rebounds in a 28-minute effort for him, 9 of 18 from the field, 23 from Zion in 29 minutes of action. He was perfect from the foul line tonight for him in a losing effort. And then outside of 2 20-point scores, nobody else was present in terms of scoring. 13 from Vail with 10 rebounds in 24 minutes. CJ McCollum, very off game, 7 points in 23 minutes. He was 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown against his old running mate. And, of course, 10 off the bench from Larry in 18 minutes, 8 from Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 8 from Najee, 8 from Jayhawk on 2 of 10 shooting from the field. He was 2 of 6 from downtown as Milwaukee just walk on the Pelicans and move past them. So, DC, any individual stuff that you want to touch on before we just jump right into this preview against Boston?
Do we have to?
No, you really don't, bro. And I would not be upset if you elected to move on.
I'll touch on one player, and that's it. Obviously, CBI went out, and I guess he looked at the game last night and figured he wasn't aggressive enough. Maybe he's the reason we said to hell with point Zion, because as soon as the game started, BI was on a mission. Gave us 28 tonight, losing effort. pretty efficient 9 of 18. 2 for 2 from 3-point line. Got 6 rebounds and only 1 assist. Ain't that weird, right? Go from a game of having 19 potential assists to 1 assist. So the reason I brought that up, I don't know, man. It just looks like maybe he's frustrated too. So he went with a totally opposite way of playing than he played last game, and still to no avail. Scored more points, but still don't get the dub. So Pel's got some things to figure out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to figure out, if you ask me, bro. A lot of stuff to figure out, and they don't have a lot of time to figure it out, to be honest with you, with a very, like you made mention of the fact that the Boston Celtics are the next team that the Pels have to face off against, and they lost tonight. They lost to the Clippers, got handled by the Clippers, broke their winning streak that they had going on, and the Pelicans have to get ready for this pissed off team as we go to Boston to take them on, and it's always a difficult matchup. Anytime we roll into a very good Boston team, and Boston is currently the best team in the East. So we go from, boy, I mean, this is a tough one, man. This is Marley Marl, you're right, bro. This is like Mickey would say, this is a toughie. This is big time tough, because you go from Milwaukee, who's the second best team in the East, 3 games back of Boston, who now Boston is the number 1 team. So it's just, boy, it don't get no easy for the Pelicans. So DC, let's go into it, man. Let's talk about it. You got Tatum, you got Brown, White, you got Holiday, you got a lot of stuff going on over there, man. What happens here, man? What we do against this team? How we get this dub, bro?
At this point, Big Q, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could say, we focus on limiting Tatum and all of that, but it's like, man, I don't know, because I don't know which team gonna show up. Maybe we need another team meeting, but we're only on a 2-loss losing streak. Ain't the end of the world, but I really don't know how they pull out this win against Boston. The way we've been playing and what we've seen, pretty quick turnaround. Maybe that 1 day of rest gets them something. But is Porzingis playing? That would be my first question, because he's been awesome for them. I think he's a game time decision.
Exactly, he's going to be a game time decision.
Because I think if Porzingis plays, man, it's going to be a tough out. It's be a difficult one to try to get. You got White over there, man, who's, everybody's saying he's playing better than her defensively. I don't know about that, but that's the perception people have of him. So you got somebody to potentially throw at whatever hot hand we got. And then you still got to contend with Jason Tatum, who's, damn near walking 30 points every night. Drew Holiday, what he brings defensively. And then you still got to deal with Jaylen Brown, man. This is a tough one, and I think they match up well against the Pelicans. For them to be able to beat the Boston Celtics, man, just a lot of things got to go right that haven't been going right. We definitely would need Trey Murphy, right? We would have to utilize Big V. We've not really been doing that. The last 2 games, he's basically been a negative for us, but it's not like Larry Nance is leaps and bounds above him, because as you've seen tonight, they started Larry Nance after halftime, and that really actually looked worse. I was like, man, I wonder what it looked like with Big V out there, because this ain't working.
No.
So we need to get back to being able to utilize him effectively. I think we would have to go to point Zion. They don't have a lot of big bodies, even though they have a lot of good defenders. So I would look for this to be a Zion game, man, and everybody kind of feed off of him. If we want to be able to beat any team of high caliber, you got to put the ball in his hands and kind of go off of him. As you saw tonight, Zion was actually experimenting with different ways to try and get foul calls, man. He was out there, and yelling and all that tonight. Y'all all heard Antonio Daniels talking about that, making reference to it. And that is the first time I've seen him do that. And he was able to get to the foul line, I think, 7 or 8 times. So I don't know. Maybe that's something you could look at as a positive from the game we just watched. And he could try to reiterate against the Boston Celtics and see if we can get to that foul line a lot more, man, because we got to hit shots and we got to get to the foul line. Like, you want to be the team like Boston or Milwaukee, they're going to get to the foul line and they're going to hit three-pointers. So you got to be able to do that just to hang with those teams as well as limiting their number one scorer, man. It's to me a similar blueprint that you would have had to be able to beat the Milwaukee Bucks that you would have to implement against the Boston Celtics, even though they're two totally different teams and the makeup is a little different. It's still the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Our stars have to be stars. We can't quit on our defensive effort. Our rotations when a guy goes to help have to be a lot better. That was atrocious tonight. And if they go into that game with the same type of mentality or the same type of just energy, there's no way we even stay in the building with the Boston Celtics. It'll be another blowout.
Yeah, this is gonna be a interesting game, man. I mean, that's the best way I could phrase it, DC, to be honest with you, man. Because I mean, you look at OKC, you look at tonight's matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, they got whatever they want when they wanted it. And we talking about inside. The three ball was falling from the jack. They just shot the Pelicans out of the arena, but the Pelicans defense wasn't all that. Tonight it was disappointing. But you have a team that the Boston Celtics coming into this thing, DC, they're a very balanced team. They got, Tatum's playing ridiculous. Brown is there. Their backcourt is really awesome, and they're a solid, well-coached team that knows what that has an identity, that knows what they're doing. They're proven, and this is going to be another test for the Pelicans. And what I see from this, right now, and of course we'll see what happens on Monday. But man, it's just right now, it just shows that the Pelicans are not ready for these type of teams. I mean, even if you talk about OKC and Lexxah dropped, she made a mention of the fact that they are ahead of schedule, and she's right. OKC, as she referencing, is ahead of schedule, and boy, are they. And we look at the Pelicans, like, with all the talent the Pelicans have, they should be ahead of schedule as well. But it's all this up and down stuff, and when they lose, they look like this, and that's why a lot of the flock, the faithful, have such an issue with the team, because when they win, they hammer the teams. When they lose, it's all of this stuff that just doesn't look right. They get hammered by these teams. The last two blowout losses, like, this is not a good thing, man. Not at all. So
It's inconsistencies, man. I mean,
that's the part.
it's like how you lose. It's okay to lose games, but like you can't just keep getting blowed out like a beat in a certain, and we just act like that's normal. Like,
right.
Everybody expects them to win, every game. The best team in the NBA season is gonna lose about 25 games, 30 games.
Yeah, but it's an effort thing. That's what people want to see every night. They want to see the effort against the bottom feeders, the like the San Antonio Spurs, the bottom feeders. Or
I think it's a little more than effort though, Big Q, because it's Willie says it all the time: execution, right? Playing with force. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
right.
more than just effort, because you can go out there and give effort all day long. We don't all either play hoops or been somewhere where they playing hoops, and you see dude trying his heart out and just getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, in my opinion, just, to me, it's just the same thing over and over, bro. I think that's what pisses everybody off. It's like, when you're watching the game, we watching, and when we went in at the end of the second quarter, right, and they did, Milwaukee started to go on a run, and I think they run it up to about 14 points for halftime, right? It was like, oh, we've seen this story before. And coming out of the third, we're like, oh, we can't have a slow start coming out of the third. And pretty much they come out the third, have another slow start. Like, you know where this is going. It's like the same thing on repeat, man. And then you start to wonder, you're like, what are they doing? Like, what are the adjustments? What are we doing differently? Are we just trusting our process and just keep doing the same shit over and over again? Because that's crazy. And I think that's what gets at everybody. I know that's what gets at me looking at it. you have an opportunity right now, in my opinion, to experiment with different things. When we were talking about Willie with the starting lineup, what we said? It was gonna be Jonas, right? Couldn't be nobody else.
DC, we're not gonna see immediate change right now because we have to wait 10 games before we get a change. So
Oh, don't do that. When you getting blowouts back to back, man, I mean, outside of
you
just
hating it to 5 games?
man, you need to cut it to 2. He got
Oh,
2 blowouts back to back.
dude, let
You
me tell
might
you
not,
something.
want to bench a guy per se, but like maybe pull him earlier I mean, you want to try something different, especially when you start seeing things go the way that they've always gone, right? So, and in Willie's opinion, I have seen him experiment a little more and try different things. It's just sometimes some of the things you're like yes, and other things it's like a head scratcher. Like, why would you try that? But you can't just keep doing what we've been doing. And then the other thing to me is like when we see something that work against one team, there's an obvious adjustment against another team, and we try to go with what we did against the other team as if that's gonna work. Like we went small tonight, and because we had some success with that, when we scored 150 and other times, but we went small and they was big. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? And guess what, Q? Didn't work.
Of course it didn't. But you know what, DC,
They
this is a
were they were big and agile, and we went
yes.
small and agile. I'm like, that's really
Yeah.
not a we're not in the advantage here. But
You got. I mean, listen. The Greek Freak got wherever he want when he wanted, bro. And then you seen Brooke Lopez hit like 4 or 5 3-pointers. I mean, he was some of those threes. He was 3 or 4 feet from the 3-point line. You've seen the hamster. The hamster man came in there and hit several 3-pointers.
I mean, Phineas from Phineas and Ferb,
Yeah, campaign. You know, he came in there. The hamster came in there and handled his business. So
Ratatouille.
exactly. You had Clinton Portis. He was, I mean, not Clinton Portis. What's his Bobby Portis? I say Clinton Portis. Bobby Portis. He was in there cooking the Pelicans. Even when he was when the Greek Freak had to go to the bench, he Portis came in and cooked the Pelicans. So they had a full thing going. It was the starting 5 as well as the bench guys came in and they gave a full effort. Pelicans did not give a full effort tonight. They didn't. They couldn't match what Milwaukee had going on, and they got trounced. So, the thing is, when you have these type of games, and a lot of people just want to bury this, but this stuff could be used in a positive sense. Like this is what some of the teams that are supposed to get to a certain level, an elite level that we expect the Pelicans ultimately to get to. They have to experience a lot of these type of events so that they make the adjustments that it kind of make them do things. It works with them in terms of them playing on the court at the same time and learning what they need to do as an experience that they have, because these guys been hurt as a collective, and this is the first time that we've seen in an extended period of time that they have that time frame. So they're still 20 and 26 and 20. I don't like these losses at all because this is not where it's supposed to be. But like this Boston thing coming up Monday, man, a lot of people already are going to dismiss the Pelicans and say there's no way, if you can't beat the number 2 team in the East, you damn sure ain't gonna be able to beat the number 1 team in the East on Monday.
Is that a
So
crazy thought process?
no, it's not. It's not. But styles make fights. The Pelicans might come into this thing, leveled up. We don't know what you just said it yourself. You don't know what team is going to show up from game to game, and that's the issue.
This team goes as Zion goes though, man. So I just think there's not many games I've seen where Zion has like 33 or he's super efficient or he's all over the place or getting a bunch of assists and we lose like this. We gotta run more things through him, in my opinion. Just us. I was looking at I think it was something from Basketball Index. And us and the 76ers, man, we are like leaps and beyonds above everybody. in tough shot making, Q. Tough shot making. We make a gang of tough shots, right? I mean, we double the whole league, us and the 76ers. And our shot quality is trash. We got like the worst shot quality in the league.
You ain't lying.
Now you think about the 76ers, they got arguably, you can say, the best player in the league, right? Or one of the best players in the league, if people want to say Joker or everybody saying Luka now, whatever. So he gonna make a lot of tough shots. And I'm looking at it like, okay, we got Zion and BI, they make a lot of tough shots, right? But then I look at everybody else, I'm like, man, we got a gang of talent. It's like, why are the shots so tough? Like, why don't we get any easy shots? And B probably takes 25 shots a game. We got games where Zion and BI put together don't even take 25 shots a game. So you got CJ having tough shots. Like, what can we do to make the game easier? And it's simple. Put the ball in Zion's hands and do that repeatedly. Even if...
What if he losing the ball? What if he dribbling the ball off his foot or making irresponsible passes? Do you still keep the ball in his hand?
That's our best shot, man. You got to trust in your guy. I think he would be able to get past that. And also, I look at it as a strategic thing too, where you got to put him in situations where he's comfortable and is most successful with the ball in his hands. Because the way that he bends the defense, bro, is like there's no other players in the league other than the league's best that bend the defense like him. So if you want to get easier shots, right, do that. Like, I think it's another stat I saw before the game, when they do the little slides and all of that. Off of catch and shoot passes from Zion, guys are shooting like 40%. They're shooting 40% from 3-point line, catching the ball from him. So, to me, that's the obvious answer. And I just see too many possessions where he becomes an afterthought. You heard Lex talking about it. She's absolutely right. And tonight, it was another example of that. I'm not saying I don't think we would have won this game tonight, no matter what, to be honest. But our best chance to beat top tier teams is to put the ball in Zion's hand, man. He's our most dynamic player. He's our most dominant player, because he can put fear in other teams.
Let me add this to it, DC. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but let me add this to it. Zion has to mature as a basketball player, and when I'm talking about, I mean his skill set has to mature. I mean, he has to develop a mid-range shot. He has to get more of a full palette. And listen, we talk about, well, he'll develop that this year. This is year 5 that he's been here. So a lot of whatever he had that he'd been using or he'd been shelving during practice, he need to bring that out, because you are right. He is the most dominant player we have when his mind is right. His dominance don't mean anything when he plays docile and doesn't command the ball. There's times when he's confused on whether or not he should attack players. I often find myself when he hits the ball, me yelling at the television, "Go to work." I do that a lot. It's like, go to work. And it's crazy because right after I say that, what you waiting for? Go to work. Then he goes to work. It's crazy. Like I got a joystick and I'm controlling him. But he has to mature. His game has to mature as more than just some guy that just gets fouled. He did a wonderful job tonight in terms of him getting to the foul line and hitting 7 for 7. That's a good free throw shooting for Zion, getting there and hitting all his foul shots. But at the end of the day, if you're going to trust him to do that, he has to mature more than just a brute that gets to the basket. And then most of the times that, he gets 7 foul calls a night. We know he got hacked at least 10, 11 times tonight, at least that much. But he has to develop a mid-range game, and that's not too much to ask for. I'm not asking him to shoot no damn threes, but he needs to develop a mid-range shot because the shot is there. Guys, when he gets the ball, they back up off him. It's 3 to 5 feet between him and the defender for him to raise up and take that shot. So if they want to put the ball in Zion's hands, the mentality of domination has to be in his mind. He has to be about the business. He can't play docile and disappear in these games and tend to defer at times. He does that. Like when he'll have a Bobby Portis on him, he can go around Bobby Portis. There was other times where he had Brook Lopez in front of him, when Lopez cycled out in front of him and he deferred, he passed the ball away. So I mean, he has to have more of an attack dog mentality. He has to develop more of a mid-range shot. He has to mature his game. And I mean this year. Now I ain't talking about no next year. They need that this year. So and I agree with you in terms of your talking point about Zion Williamson, in terms of putting the ball in his hand. I just wanted to add that, bro. So that's what I'm talking about, bro. We need that. We need that now. We need that, like the little commercial about the JG Wentworth.
Oh, JG Wentworth. Hey, 7 guys now.
JG
Man,
Wentworth.
they took it. They put a meme up, bro, where they put Eminem in this little battle on 8 Mile, and they had that damn song playing. That shit was funny as hell. But yeah, man, you're right. But the one critique I have with your point, I don't think it's necessarily that he needs to expand his mid-range games, because I just watched a guy tonight murder us along with his buddies. I don't think he took one shot in the mid-range. Man, every time they gave Giannis space, he just used that as a damn runway.
It's different, bro. Do you see the
But
way
look,
it's attacks? Then
wait.
You know that's the difference.
One major difference, and I think this leads to Zion's hesitant. You know what I'm trying to say. Shit, I can't get the word up.
I don't.
Oh, you're gonna leave me hanging? All right. Him hesitating. I was trying to say a variation of that.
Oh, okay, I got
hesitancy.
you. Hesitancy. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry.
There we go. Him getting those foul calls, man, and him figuring out a way to get to the line, especially when guys are clobbering him. And so I get why you're saying he need that mid range, but there's ways to do it also without having that. And I think some of that goes into scheming. Also, him being a little more calculated and smart about that. You see him hollering and yelling tonight, trying to get the referee's attention that he's being fouled. If he gets to the free throw line like a Giannis or like an Embiid, which he should, because that's how they play him. You're looking at Zion getting to the line 11, 12 times. That changes everything. So if he could do that, and he don't need to do the other stuff, and I mean it would definitely still benefit him to do that. He'd be even a greater player. But if he could do that now, like JG said, that changes everything, Q. So, but also your way will work as well. But I think the more practical way, and the thing I could see happening now, because I've seen games in the past and I've seen stretches where Zion had 10 plus free throws. Not this year, but I think if he can do that, that's the easiest thing for him to correct now, and it'll lead to like the same results. But if we can't get those calls and there's no way you can figure that out, that's the only way it can happen, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like how you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, DC. I don't disagree with what you're saying. You're hitting on the money, but when you talk about what's going on with the Pelicans, it's intensity here, bro, for real. I mean, because a lot of these teams are playing, and we're talking about, you have Milwaukee, and these teams. This is a team that won a championship recently. You have the Boston Celtics. This is a team that is consistently playing, or in the Eastern Conference Finals for opportunities to play for championships. These are the echelon. This is the top echelon teams in the NBA, and the difference is they have an identity. They know what they do. They know what they need to do. They know what players are supposed to rise at certain occasions of the game. They know. They also have a high IQ in terms of defense. They know how to protect the rim. They most of the times, DC, they get a lot of offensive rebounds. They don't have one shot and then run up the goddamn court like I see the Pelicans do.
Oh man, I hate when they do that. Nobody else touch the ball.
No, and right, they pull up, take shots, or at least be responsible enough to wait for somebody to get up under the rim to try to get an offensive stick back. Something, bro. Not just so if I don't hit this shot, if I shoot this ball and I miss it, the other team gets the rebound. They can run up the court, so I get one shot at it. You know, you've seen tonight when Milwaukee, they had several opportunities to when they missed shots, they were able to get offensive rebounds, kick them out, and a guy might convert a 3-pointer or he'll get a stick back at the board. So I mean, like I'm saying, is those things are yet to be figured out by the Pelicans. And if you watch tonight, before the 3-pointers were even falling like that, they got whatever they wanted getting to the cup. It's too easy to score on the Pelicans, bro. That's what I'm saying. The defense, my goodness, it's too easy. You've seen Giannis get there at the, and he does that with most games, but give him some type of degree of difficulty to get to that, to get to the hoop. We don't present that challenge, and we've seen that happen against OKC when they score on us easy, and we have a degree of difficulty to score on them. That has to change, because I thought Willie, if anything, if he doesn't know anything about offense, then he's supposed to know about defense and consistent defense. Now, we see games when the Pelicans are there defensively, and then where is that stellar defense against a top tier team like a Boston Celtics, or against the OKC Thunder, or against tonight's opponent, Milwaukee? Where's that top-notch defense? It wasn't present. It was absent. And then, like I talked about, the intensity. You got to match these teams' intensity, or they're going to run you out of there. You got to match their intensity, and the Pelicans did not match the intensity. They didn't match their IQ, so that's why they got flogged. That's why they got ran out. That's why they got stumped out in back-to-back matchups, because these other teams have an identity. They know what they need to do to win, and the Pelicans are still struggling with what to do. You talked about the schizophrenia. We talked about that several shows ago about the Pelicans having a bit of confusion or adaptation when it comes down to the offensive mindset of what Borrego's and embedding into the team versus Willie's defensive philosophies. There's a bit of disconnect happening there. It's a bit of this, schizophrenia happening here. The Pelicans, what kind of team is this? And they're not true to their identity. Well, that's some of the truth there. But the good news is there's still plenty of games for them to figure this out. And overall, family, they're healthy. So I know the family is, upset about tonight's matchup and Friday's matchup, and rightfully so. But these are the type of games moving forward where we have these guys playing together finally, and they're learning. You're hoping they're learning. You're hoping Willie's learning, so that when it gets down to the playoff run, that we can be able to put it all together and make something happen. So, I mean, that's what we got going on right now. But DC, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I look at tonight though, as far as the defensive collapse, man, it was blatantly obvious once they realized, basically when Jonas was out there, they put him in the pick and roll, and Dame just picked us apart, man. And you had Brook Lopez hitting those threes, so they got a big that can stretch, and Jonas is trying to help on Dame, and then get back out there. That's killing us. Bobby Porter was getting us in mismatches, and they took forever to go over there and double team him, killing us. You got Giannis, who's obviously going to do what he does. And then you got Dame out there getting wide open 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? For the life of me, what I cannot understand, Willie's been the coach of this team for 3 years, Q.
Yeah,
And
bro. Yes.
I'm not a trade Jonas guy. I think Jonas, I would love to see him stay. I think it can definitely work. But we've been saying this since we had, what you called him, the flying pineapple, Jackson Hayes here.
Yeah, the pine or damn it, we call them the pine
called
tree.
him the flying pineapple. Or you called him the paratrooper.
Well, that was Najee. One.
He couldn't stay on. No, that was him. He couldn't stay on the ground.
Oh, that he sets impatient picks. Yeah,
He sets impatient picks, and he stayed in the air. He jumped at every point. He ain't seen a post again. Like,
That's true. That's true, bro. Boy,
but anyway,
boy.
We've been saying that even with him on the team, man, we need an athletic big that can block shots, and get rebounds. Jackson Hayes was athletic, and he actually had some good plays on the perimeter as a big, but he was completely undisciplined and just ain't know what the hell he was doing. But you need a competent guy, man, like that. And for the life of me, I don't understand why we not only have we not found one, but it's almost like we don't even attempt to try to get such player. Because tonight, I think having a guy like that where it's like, okay, Larry Nance is actually too small, Jonas is too slow. Implement said third center, right? For defensive purposes.
Uncle Earl, Jeremiah Earl?
No, we don't have him on the roster. But
That's
I'm saying like, no, actually our third center is Cody Zeller, but you forgot all about him. Or Willie don't acknowledge him as the
I
third
sure did
center.
forget about my bad, Cody. Shout out to Cody Zeller, man. My bad.
Man, Cody even got some burn tonight, man. I even forgot about him.
That's
That's
right.
right.
I forgot
We
about
did
him.
have Jameson DB. But it's like games like this, man, with that it becomes blatantly obvious when the really good teams play us, and when we in the playoffs, that's what everybody's gonna give us a steady diet of. DJ done found him a new guy, Carlo, huh? He DJ on the Carlo train. So it's like if we had that guy tonight, man, I think that would definitely help, and that would help a lot of times with these games where we see guys torching us like that, man. I don't understand why we haven't tried to get a guy like that, even just signing somebody off the street. It's like we don't make no attempt to understand that we got one center or two centers that are good, in my opinion, but one is too small. When you play
Larry's a
big teams.
4, bro. Larry's a 4, and I think he's kind of leaning on Larry. And Larry's been playing really good ball, man. But to play him against the guy who was the beanpole we played yesterday, Chet, to have him matched up against Chet, that's asking a little too much, I think.
You see Chet trying to muscle him up, man.
Yeah, I'm like, look, yeah, and just shooting over the top of him, and he kind of over relies on him, and like we in the family, like you just said, DC.
It's good. It's good in stretches. It's good in certain packages. It's good against certain
Right.
teams.
But see, another thing was too as well. It's like you said, you asked the question, why don't we go out into the street, go find a 7-foot big that we can bring here?
They ain't even got it. They just gotta be able to play solid defense, be competent enough, and block some shots, man.
Well, I'm saying we know that we have the answer to that question. We know why they're not going to do it.
Can't be Liam Robinson, J. Like he's hurt, man. I think he had like a season-ending injury, or it was
I think he done, bro.
Yeah, so they might still have a hush agreement where when he gets together, we could get him back like we did. What's the other dude? Brockington. We gave him a shot.
Yeah,
Isaiah Brockington. Yeah, once he got back healthy, we gave him a little contract, sign him some money and stuff, and gave him a shot. But so I don't know about Liam, man.
Yeah, he has to shake back from those injuries. I think he's something the Pelicans could be looking at down the line. I mean, in the future. But in terms of what you're talking about, these guys, even when you talk about Carlo Matkovic, that they bring him in, that guy is probably going to go right to the G League. You might as well just get off the plane and let him go right to Birmingham.
Carlo even know how to speak English?
It don't stop him. They had Didi here, and he only.
I ain't saying that as a joke. I'm just.
That's all Didi said was yes.
Come on, man. I can't tell you nothing.
But I'm saying if you bring Carlo or any of these guys in here, they're not going to see the floor. Willie's going to play who he's comfortable with playing. That's the whole point of this whole thing, man. We know that changing things up is a big part of of making it easier for you and uneasy for the other side. But I mean, Willie has this, he still struggles with that. And you're right, this is his final year. So you got to feel a little heat on you when you finally have all the guys together. Like, well, Willie, we didn't have our guys. This is what they were spending the last couple of years because of injury. That's not the case this year. We've seen Zion and BI play for, many stretches of game along with CJ and Val and Herb and everybody else. We've seen the maturation of Herb Jones. We've seen Dyson improve a bit. We've seen Jordan Hawkins comes in and shoot the lights out. You know, we've had Jose Alvarado. We've seen Trey Murphy. I mean, the
We've seen a
Pelicans.
lot, except for an athletic center that can
You
block
won't,
shots and rebound. We ain't
you won't
seen
see
that.
that. You won't see that till after they trade Val. You won't see that till after they
Why do
trade.
we have to trade Val to have?
You already have the answer to that question, bro.
Because you just said it. I also acknowledge it. Larry Nance could play alongside both. Like you could still play Larry. You cut Najee minutes out right at the power forward, but you could still play Larry Nance and have said guy.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, we know what's going to happen with Najee and Val. I mean, there is nothing on the Pelicans extending Val. There's none of that. I mean, even though Val has played really well this season, and people are like, man, Q, we need to find a way to keep him. The Pelicans don't share that sentiment. I agree, he's played really well, but like I said before, that's a gift and a curse. The gift is he plays really well for the Pelicans, and he helps them win games. The curse is he plays so well it improves his trade value, where somebody else could say, yeah, we'll take you and we'll give you some, closer to the money that you want.
Yeah, I mean, man, they averaging like 14 and 9.
Yeah, he's 14, almost 14 and 10. But DC, listen, that like I've said before, they tried to talk to him early on. They cut the stuff off, and they might have had some banterings back and forth. But we getting close to the trade deadline. That's February the 8th, and we've heard zero on the Pelicans and Valanciunas working on a deal in terms of getting something done. The Pelicans have been really actively looking at bigs that fit the rim protection mode. Guys that are athletic, that can move with that switch all mentality, that's good at protecting the rim. There's a lot of bigs out there that are linked to the Pelicans, and there are more that'll be circling, popping up as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. And we know that if they don't sign Val or offer him an extension or make an arrangement with him, he'll probably be a part of a trade to be moved out of here. So, we see what they're trying to do. It's not cloak and dagger, man. None of that's going on. It's very clear what the Pelicans are looking at. They have a style of center that they like a lot. And you see all this other stuff is attached to those type of centers. So, and
I think that would definitely help defensively, but offensively, getting rid of a center like Val and replacing that with, I guess so, Larry would, when we want to stretch, we're just going to put Larry there.
I mean, he gonna go to if Val's not there, it's definitely Larry. That's Willie. That's what Willie does. And then off the bench, Cody Zeller. He'll
and J. Robinson Earl, huh? What's your boy named Robinson Earl?
Yeah, he like Uncle Robinson.
Because we could move Cody Zeller too. Like he got a cool $3 million. So Big V 15 million, 3 million. That's 18.
Don't forget you got Najee. Do they extend Najee? He's a free agent coming up. That's also in the talking points today.
I think if we moving on from JV, it's potentially you could keep Najee. Like Najee as your 8, 9, 10 guy.
Even though you have EJ Liddell, don't forget about EJ Liddell.
I would love to keep Najee because EJ Liddell to me is the future replacement for Larry Nance. Even Larry Nance said that himself. So I wouldn't. EJ ain't got to start cooking yet, man. EJ got about a year and a half before we need to see any solid production out of him. So, nah.
Well, we'll see what they're looking at coming up here soon, DC. That's all I got to say about it, man. All I know is there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and we need them answered as soon as possible.
Man, how y'all all forgot about Cody Zeller, man? The great Cody Zeller. Don't do that.
Yeah, I did the same damn thing early in the show. Remember that, fam? I did the same thing. I said I had to apologize to Cody. I was like, my bad, Cody.
My man Marley was up here blowing smoke, man, talking about Malcolm Hill, the next superstar.
Oh, come on now, bro. I don't see
he
that.
said Malcolm Hill is our future.
No.
What's going on with Marley, man?
I don't know, bro. I don't think he's a star, bro. future.
Yeah,
His
next. Well, I
future
mean, the dude, he was averaging 35 points in the G League.
in the G League, bro.
Well, I mean, you average 35 points in the G League, you might be able to put up 15 points on this Pels team. I really thought, I was like, why they ain't put him? They should have put him in the game tonight. Could have went out there and been selfish, man. Let's see what you can do.
Well, Jen gave him a shout out. It showed, talked about who he was and all this kind of stuff. But he didn't get what
Put him in the
he's getting
game.
blown
We need
out.
to smoke, man. We get our ass toe up. It can't hurt.
When them getting, yeah, right. When them getting blown out didn't inspire them to throw a heel in the game. They just let them sit on the sideline. So who do you put that on? That's your guy Willie again. He, like I said, man, it's coming down to, you can have all the talent in the world. The Pelicans do have a very talented team, man. But in the end, it's going to come down to the coach putting his team in the position to win. Now, we know the players have to participate, but at the same time, man, these type of pitiful efforts by the Pelicans, man, that's not going to cut it. So we got a Boston team. What does the Boston matchup look like on Monday? It depends on what team comes to play. It's going to be the dominant 3-point shooting confident Pelican club, or the team that we've been seeing over the last two contests. So y'all guess is as good as mine on that one, man. Let me tell you, they got everybody confused, even themselves. See what's going on. But the positive is the Pelicans, man. Listen, they're 26-26 right now. That's it's a part of the game right now. They're 26-26. Let me see if I can get that up there. They're on a 2-game slide, yes, but at the same time, man, 26-20, 26-20, 7th in the NBA right now, and they just got to keep on fighting, fam. They got to keep on fighting and keep fighting some more, man. But it's encouraging. We have Zion and BI and CJ and Herb, all of them playing together as many games as we've seen this year. Remember, we hadn't seen that shit the last couple of years because they weren't healthy. So it's a big positive. Shout out to Amy, that we have these guys, the collection of guys that we have, and they still learning the game. And Willie, man, my goodness, Willie has to improve fast. But we got a lot of stuff going on, man, coming up here on the trade deadline, and then running right on into the damn All-Star break. So, all right. But anyway, DC.
What I guess, would you say Willie needs to improve at the quickest? Just
Man,
one thing.
Oh, that's easy. Adjustments. That's a simple one right there.
You know goddamn well that ain't gonna be quick.
Well, you asked me quick. I mean,
said the quickest.
Well, it could be if he
trying to improve at that for about 3 years now, man.
Bro, listen, I'm telling you, and I know that Borrego and those guys, are really intelligent. There is a mindset around the NBA of how intelligent Borrego is. If Willie needs to really start listening to his assistant coaches more, he really does, especially Borrego. And then now he really need to look at his defensive guy as well, the top defensive coach there too. And they really have to get that together, bro, for real. Something has to happen, man, because we get, and I think he will, because he in the last year of his contract, it's a bit of desperation is going to start slipping in here for him to kind of change this stuff up. He got to. This is the staff that he has now, DC. A lot of these guys, these are his guys. He picked these guys. You got a healthy team majority of the time. The stars are there. Everybody's there. We got a very good team when they lock in. The issue is getting everybody locked in and focused at the same time. So yeah, the adjustments, that's the biggest part of the game in my estimation. He needs to listen more to his guys, a Borrego, more, and make sense of what's going on. They need to really develop a identity of this team and keep it true and play through it by all measure. They got to do that, because that's the issue that you see, the confusion with the Pelicans, when you see them running with Zion, then all of a sudden it turns into isolation ball with BI, or then it'll just morph into CJ just pulling up and just taking shots without anything, just walk down there and just shoot a damn shot. So I mean, it's just and it's something has to change. It has to switch where everybody respect the game. And until we see that, we won't see how really good this team can be. But this is he's under the gun, bro. This is what it is. He's under the damn gun. So yeah, I think DB says Q is Borrego really his guy. Yeah, he picked Borrego. He wanted Borrego here. He picked Borrego. He talked about. He did the whole interview. We covered all that.
Borrego used to coach Willie.
That's right. He was he loves Borrego. He speaks highly of him. So I really do think he needs to start listening to him more. To his top assistants, you really need to start listening to him more because they know what time it is. Borrego's been a head coach before. He knows exactly what's going on with this team and the disconnect. But it's up to Willie to figure that out. Willie is a good dude, but he's not a Willie is not. Willie gets out coached a lot, man. I really do. Like the guy. Some of these coaches, I ain't gonna lie to you, family. Some of these coaches, you know some of the more popular ones, but some of these other guys, man, you like these guys with G League coaches and stuff like that, and they just mopping Willie up. Like, look at the OKC coach, man. The OKC coach, bro, he got that team together, man. He got them together playing really good special brand of high intensity ball. They're active. They get their hands in the passing lanes. They're high energy guys. They know they have that identity. They know what they need to do to make things happen. And they play behind that identity. The Pelicans, they're not doing that. And a lot of that is because of the failure to breed whatever identity they have into the team and be consistent. Not only just that, but having the discipline to stick to that, man. That's a big point of emphasis. So we'll see. But like I said, man, we still got a lot of games in this thing, and the Pelicans are currently 26-20. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it all goes. But DC, I'll give you the closing thought before we shut it down.
Yeah, leaning on his assistants, I guess, would definitely be one. But like, are we sure he isn't doing that? Is what's going on? Maybe not. His assistants telling him things and him trying as well. So I don't know. I think the number one thing I could see him improving on though is, like I said before, man, unleashing the better strategy of utilizing Zion Williamson. That's it. I think doing that would mask a lot of mistakes, or a lot of errors in whatever adjustments need to be made. Because if you can keep teams, I remember a team in us at times, man, where we have people on their heels and they're trying to adjust to us. And right now, man, obviously when we hit them 3-pointers, like how when we shooting the lid off the damn rim, you see teams trying to do that, but that's still your bottom tier teams. We ain't never seen no performance like that against top tier teams. I could say maybe the top 3 teams, you'd be like, well, they just better than us right now. We're not ready. Top 5 or whatever you want to say. But to me, OKC is like one of them enigmas I'll put an asterisk by, man. I think we should be able to beat an OKC team, or at least put up a way better fight against them than we have last game, even though I think we beat them without BI, right? If I'm not mistaken, BI set out that game and we beat them earlier in the season. But utilizing Zion, man, and I didn't want to agree. I heard Will Bond, what he said when we had a live game, and Stephen A. Smith talking about we have no true superstar and all that shit. And what they're saying, I didn't want to agree at all, but it is some truth to it, man. We have to set precedent of who's who as far as the pecking order, man. We can't just be like this free team that everybody gets a chance, and we're not the Golden State Warriors. And even the Golden State Warriors, like Steph is not gonna let nobody deny him his attempts. I said it wrong. Steve Kerr or whoever was the coach ain't gonna let nobody deny Steph his attempts. But he's point guard, got the ball in his hand, so got the first right to get those attempts too. But utilizing Zion better, man, I think it's the number one adjustment Willie has to make, because it's the only way we have a chance. Now, whatever that may be, as far as implementing it, maybe it's different than what I'm saying, or it's different than Point Zion or whatever. But he has to be the focal point, man, because the team goes as he goes. When he doesn't go, it's up and down. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We hitting our shots at it. Zion to me is the one thing we have that can be a constant, and it can be something that can stop teams, I guess, from knowing they could just be physical with us and get us out of our game. If you use Zion and you use him correctly, I think that brings an element of physicality to the Pelicans and maybe some extra added aggression. Because when he gets it going, nobody on this team don't look like him. You know what I'm saying? Like when Zion get it going, man, he's virtually unstoppable. I see Bi look like that sometimes, but when Zion he about 6 for 6 on a night, man, it's gonna be a long night for the opposing team. Or you see him getting to the rim a lot, as far as getting his free throws early in the game. It's gonna be a long night, and that's the adjustment, man. So looking forward to see what the Pels do against Boston, bro. Not too encouraged. I don't think it's impossible for them to be able to beat Boston, but it's kind of hard to be high on that after what you saw tonight. But whether we win or lose in Boston, long as we win that Houston game, I think we'll be all right, man. We still will finish out the month with another winning month at I think like 8-7, right? Or would it be 7-7? I don't know. But we'll still be at least 500 or above. So as long as the Pels are 500 and above, I mean, we can't really be too upset, especially before All-Star break, with all of the things we've seen that can be fixed.
Yeah, listen, the Stephen A. Smith stuff, man. I've debunked Stephen A. Smith on this channel all the time. We exposed ESPN for lying. I mean, with the trade situation, the trade talk with Zion and the guy, the point guard from Portland. Even the insiders wouldn't participate. They were dropping disclaimers. We covered that. I've been cooking Stephen A. Smith. We've been doing that on this channel for a long time about sources. At one time, he might have had sources that would tell him stuff, but the insiders don't even agree with what he's talking about. And a lot of stuff that he says about the Pelicans is in bad faith. It's all bad faith shit that tied to Stephen A. Smith. It's all bad faith because when the Pelicans are kicking ass, he's quiet as a church mouse over there. So I don't want to hear nothing that bald head some bitch got to say about the Pelicans. I'm gonna just keep it real with you because it's totally inconsistent and one-sided.
But can you agree that
I'm not gonna agree with that some bitch. So
no. Far as us really not having our pecking order, who's on the top or the bottom of the food chain, correct?
Yeah, I listen. We've said that though. That's not anything new. That I just made mention of that. We talk about that all the time. Is the fact that the Pelicans have to figure out, the identity of the team, and then of course you mentioned Zion Williamson. We know that Zion is supposed to be the centerpiece of this. This is his team, and that's it. Brandon Ingram is. I agree. Brandon Ingram is at his current development better than Zion. He's a better player than Zion. He's more of a complete player than Zion Williamson is. That's why I'm consistently and thoroughly pushing Zion Williamson to mature his offensive game by developing a mid-range shot. Similar, I don't know if it's going to be as good as a BI shot, but BI knows how to get to certain areas of the floor, rise up and get those shots. He does it every night. He gets to his spots on the floor, twists and turns, and makes shots. Zion Williamson's he's a fist. That's all he does is try to attempt to ram himself to the basket. I'm saying for the Pelicans to really get somewhere, he's going to have to mature another aspect of his game. He has to become more well-rounded. I'm not talking about 3-point shots. I'm talking about a damn mid-range shot, which most, good players in the NBA has and consistently utilizes. And like I said, and then there's a temperament thing, DC, that I see on a night-to-night basis with Zion Williamson. He plays docile at times, and they can say that's the play call in the scheme, whatever. No, but if you're a superstar, you command the ball. You demand the ball. And there's too many games where I see Zion is willing to go stand somewhere else and watch the game like me and you watching the game. No, go get the ball and command the ball and attack. Do what you got to do. Have more of an emphasis there, because watching Bi cook and get to his areas of the court is not going to improve your game. I mean, he has to really do that. That's what I'm saying. He has to mature his game for the Pelicans to get to that next level, because, like I've said, it's commonsensical. He and Antonio Daniels did a wonderful job of pointing out the fact that he's trying. You made mention of it as well, that he's trying to draw fouls. Like what AD said, play the game within the game. Throw your head back. And it's this type of crap. But in the end, also, if that doesn't work, how about doing the mid-range shot? At least, do the mid-range. Because I say that because they're giving them the space to do it. If they're going to back off you 5 feet and still are retreating while they're 5 feet from you and still retreating to form a wall, a barrier, so you can't get to the basket, why not pull up and take that shot? You hit that shot enough, they'll come to you and you can go around them. It changes the game, as opposed to just getting beat up at the hoop. Now, I'm happy that he hit his foul shots, but for the Pelicans to really rely on Zion Williamson, as opposed to what they've been doing with Brandon Ingram, they relying on BI, because BI has been there more than Zion has. They had to keep it going, So his game is well developed. Plus, he's been in the league a lot longer. His game's different, but BI is a better player than Zion is at this development. But the team is constructed as Zion is the centerpiece. He's way too docile. He definitely needs to mature his game and command the ball more. See, and even Shaq said that. Shaq and Barkley did say that, and I respect their commentary over what Stephen A. Smith says, because his shit's bad fate. It's just bad fate after he says, man. So I'm not going to respect nobody that only thing they have to say about the Pelicans is negative, because they don't have shit to do on a slow news cycle on ESPN. So let's bring up the Pelicans and kick their ass on the news cycle about Zion with some lies about Zion Williamson, this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear it, man. Then when the Pelicans go on a 5 or 6 game winning streak, they don't have nothing to say about the Pelicans. They don't have anything to say about. So I don't really respect him at all. That's why I be cooking his bald head ass on this show. He's a liar. He's a fraud, and we expose him all the time here. But in terms of that, that's my vantage point on Zion Williamson. And the identity thing, we talked about that. We talk about all this, the options, who's the options, this, that, and the third. But like I said, if you're a star, you got to be a star, bro. You got to demand and command the ball. You gotta be there. You gotta, when they put you on the foul line, you gotta hit the shots. Person can't hack you at the line, and then you get to the line, and then you miss the foul shot, and then they do it again. You miss you're gonna have to do that. You're not a rookie. You're 5 years into this thing. You gotta handle your business, man. You're 5 years in. I know you've been dealing with some injuries, but this is nobody wants to hear that. You're getting into this big max contract. You got to step yourself up, bro. You got to step up and take the game to a whole nother level, man. And that's what it's got to be, bro. That's what it's got to be. Anyway, let me get on and get ready to get on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for chiming in, man. But listen, bro, we've been watching the Pelicans. The Pelican Post Game Report, bro. And y'all know, hey, I said every show. We the number one independent, longest running Pelican podcast in the game. We've been doing it for a while. We started at the same time we did the Sports Coma. Matter of fact, the PPR came out of the Sports Coma for the demand, because we was covering everything. People like you, I'm a Pelican man, but I don't like the Saints. So we kind of niched it down. But we've been doing it for a while. We've been watching these Pelicans play, especially under Willie Green. Since Zion has been here, me and DC been covering this stuff for a long time, and we just delving into what we've seen and what you guys have seen, and y'all been on this journey with us. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all, family. For what we seeing, I think there's a lot of positive stuff coming. You get slapped down by some of the best teams in the game. Just imagine your energy. I don't know if it'll mean anything to most, DC, if you'd have felt like if you'd have lost by 141 to 117 to the San Antonio Spurs. It hits differently than you losing to Giannis in the Bucks, or you losing to a top-ranked OKC team in the West. These teams are complete teams that know what they're doing, and when you play those teams, the Pelicans, all of their flaws are exposed when they play the Milwaukee Bucks, they play the OKC Thunder or the Boston Celtics. All of their flaws are on the table when you play it, but it hits differently when you lose to a bottom feeding squad than a top notch team. So we know the Pelicans, hopefully we know what they got to do, but hopefully that transmits to them and them getting what they need to get done. And I do ultimately think that we're in a good place, even though we lost tonight. I think overall, big picture, I think that we're in a good place, and we're going to see, family, in the next couple of months how far this team can go. And we'll see some of these moves made in DC with the trades and all that, because there's still some stuff out there the Pelicans are kind of trying to do to get some protection around the rim, because that's a big issue, bro. I don't want to make it another long ass stream, but listen, that's a big issue. The Pelicans are looking in the right area to see if they can find some rim protection, because guys, people are getting to the cup too easy. They're trying to get Val, like tonight, DC, they try to get Valve to guard 2 areas of the court. And I'm like, that's not what Valve does, man. What are you doing to him? Now, you got to defend Damian Lillard, then close out on Brook Lopez for a trail. Like, what? That's not going to happen. Val, he's going to try. He's an effort guy, but that is not his game. And to try to get him to do that is foolish. So the Pelicans are looking for rim protection. I don't think Val's going to be here. I'm sad to say, but in the end, it's just, we'll see what goes on, man. But DC, you going to come? I'll give you the last stop on that.
Man, you got that, bro. You done laid a sermon down, and I don't think nothing else needs to be said.
All right. Thank you, DC. All right. And also appreciate and thank you guys for being in the stream tonight, man. Appreciate all you fantastic family members, the flock, man. We in this thing, diehards. Congratulations, my dog DC, for this movie coming out on Valentine's Day. Much love to that brother. He worked his ass off for that. And shout out to the rest of the family members, man, for doing what y'all doing. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. PPR, we up in this thing, fam. We'll be back Monday afternoon to recap the Boston's matchup, bro. I'm going to say, and I think DC agrees with me on this one, I think this is probably going to be a loss to the Celtics. I'm sorry to say, but the Celtics got really whooped on by the Clippers tonight, and I think they're going to be upset and play really amped up, and that's a home game in their building. So I think that's going to be a loss too. So DC, do you agree? You think it's going to be a loss, brother? You agree with me on that?
Well, I'm gonna say we're gonna get ready for another give them credit Willie Green press conference.
Okay, that means it's another loss. All right, so anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. I appreciate y'all, man. Much love to the fam. We out. Go Pels.
Show us the edge, the chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa, try to win on every level. Expectations high, gotta show 'em you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, play with the edge, show me the edge, play with the edge, show me the edge, show me the edge, yeah. Whoa, then see the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, you want it all. This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow.